Psychopaths, or mental disorders often referred to as psychopaths, are mental disorders characterized by a lack of empathy and poor or impulsive behavior control. As a result of this attitude, victims are more likely to exhibit antisocial behavior, break the rules, and commit crimes, including violence. According to psychologists, psychopaths are actually a subset of antisocial personality disorder, APD. While some experts say that psycho and APD are synonymous, others believe that psychopathy is a more severe form of APD. People with this condition are usually manipulative to gain the trust of others. They learn to imitate emotions they don't really feel, making them look like normal people. In fact, they often display warm and charming personalities. Patients with this condition are often highly educated and have stable jobs. In fact, sometimes they have family and other long-term relationships without anyone knowing their true nature. This is why many people do not realize that there is someone with this condition in their environment. Psychopaths are not the same as crazy people, schizophrenia, psychosis, because psychopaths are very aware of their actions. Victims are often referred to as crazy people without mental disorders. According to research, about 1% of the total world population suffers from psychopathy. These sufferers are difficult to detect because as many as 80% more are on the loose than those in prison or in mental hospitals. The sufferers are also difficult to cure. A world-class psychopath expert named Robert D. Hare, who is now a professor at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, has studied psychopaths for approximately 25 years. He argues that psychopaths always use clever camouflage, distort facts, spread slander, and spread lies for their own gratification and benefit. In criminal cases, psychopaths are identified as murderers, rapists, and corruptors. However, this is only 15 to 20% of the total psychopaths. The rest are individuals who look perfect, are good at speaking, charming, have extraordinary charm and are fun. People with this condition appear normal at first. They often appear in public. In fact, he has a hidden character that is just the opposite. Common characteristics of psychopaths are: 1. Charming and smart speaking. Psychopaths usually have a tendency to be kind, attractive, charming, smart, and well-spoken. They generally speak quickly and with energy, and often interrupt other people's conversations with convincing information. 2. Confident and have high arrogance. A psychopath is someone who has an overestimated view of his abilities and self-worth, is self-confident, appears charismatic or thrilling to others, and is arrogant. 3. Can't stand boredom. Psychopaths are very easily bored, so they often lack discipline in carrying out their duties. They cannot work long in the same job, or work they find boring. 4. Enjoys harmful antisocial behavior. Antisocial behaviors such as cheating, lying, robbing, stealing, fighting, adultery, and murder are attractive behaviors for people with this condition. They seem attracted to high-risk antisocial behavior without a clear purpose. 5. Lack of remorse or guilt. Psychopaths tend to be indifferent, impartial, callous, and unsympathetic. Therefore, sufferers of this condition will not care about the loss, pain, and suffering of the victim. 6. Tendency to have a parasitic lifestyle. Another characteristic of psychopaths is an intentional dependence on others for things like money. He is also manipulative and selfish, taking advantage/using others to fulfill his needs. 7. Unable to control behavior. Psychopaths have irritable, irritated, impatient, threatening, aggressive, and abusive behavior. It results from a lack of control over anger and emotions. 8. Problematic behavior from an early age. Children under the age of 13 often exhibit various behaviors such as lying, stealing, cheating, hurting, threatening, being sexually active, drinking alcohol and running away from home. 9. Erratic sexual behavior. Some people with this condition have sexual desires that are considered abnormal, such as a strong and persistent desire to have sexual contact with children. 10. Unable to love. Psychopaths are very egomaniac to the point that it is difficult for normal people to understand. They are so self-absorbed and irreversible that they are completely incapable of loving others, including their own parents, spouse, and children. 11. Unable to account for failure. Psycho people are forced to pretend when they have to imitate normal human emotions that they never really feel. This is true when they face failure. But it should be underlined that the previous characteristics are not only psychopaths who have them, but other individuals can also have these characteristics. Normal people will find it difficult to know someone is a psychopath or not, because a psychopath is manipulative and good at acting. Antisocial personality disorder occurs because of several complex behavior patterns. Only mental health professionals trained in abnormal psychology and experienced in dealing with psychopathy can make an accurate diagnosis. Until now, the exact cause of psychopathy is unknown. However, although this is also still being debated, several factors are said to play a role in causing this condition in sufferers. The following are factors that may cause a person to become a psycho. First, brain condition. According to a study reported by the Royal Society, the brain regions involved in emotional processing, empathy, and decision-making are the amygdala, insula, and prefrontal cortex, which show decreased activity in people with psychopathic traits. Impaired brain function impairs response to emotional stimuli and decision-making. Affected people often make wrong decisions and cannot control their emotions. However, there is no strong evidence for certain brain conditions as a cause of psychopathy. Second, genetics. In addition to brain conditions, genetic factors are also said to play a role in causing this condition. Genetic disorders that run in families make a person susceptible to antisocial personality disorder, including psychopathy. Third, trauma. In addition to heredity, it is said that childhood trauma, such as child abuse and violence, also plays a role in psychopathy. In addition, several studies have shown this personality disorder often appears in people with difficult family environments, such as antisocial parents, alcoholism, parental fights, or children witnessing domestic violence, as well as inappropriate parenting, such as parents who often say rude or neglect children. To deal with psychopaths, of course, you must first know the weaknesses of psychopaths. So, what's the downside? According to recent research from the Australian National University, one of the weaknesses of psychopaths is that it is difficult for them to read emotions from expressions of sadness and fear. You know, psychopaths are not to be avoided. Because after all they still need someone to understand. Here's how to deal with a psychopath. 1. Keep emotions. Psychopaths are good at manipulating one's emotions. Don't show that you are affected. Keep your emotions in check and stay calm when communicating with him. 2. Don't show you're intimidated. Psychopaths often use bullying to control others. They can make subtle threats to use harsh language to make you give up. Stay strong and show a firm attitude. If the behavior starts to bother you, immediately tell a third party to mediate. 3. Turn the talk. Pointing out psychopaths' weaknesses is the best way to disarm them. When a psychopath blames someone else, you have to turn the conversation around. 4. Don't easily believe. Psychopaths often use long stories to describe themselves as victims. They often blame others and deny responsibility for their own mistakes. To work around this, speak up when necessary, use a discussion space, and focus only on the facts. Don't believe 100% of what they say. That's a discussion about psychopaths. After all the things that I have discussed before, I personally think that psychopaths are humans who are influenced by a third party, namely the devil. Why is that? Killing other humans or killing oneself is not a natural human tendency. Because humans have a tendency to want to live and maintain life. So, if there is a human who has a tendency to kill others or kill himself, what is most likely to happen is that there is another influence that is so strong within him that it is able to take over control of his brain, namely the devil. May be useful.